You good there, Lisa? Okay. Call the meeting to order. Sunshine announcement.
As required by the meeting section of 275, after the notice was reading, which was read on March 28, 2019, the publication of the notice in express times in the Star Ledger and posting of certain news.
Roll call. Here.
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 Please stand for the flag salute. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. I guess first order, we just have to do a motion to advertise for the part-time seasonal employees for DPW. Does everybody know what that's about? That's we authorize them to hire. So I'm looking for a motion to authorize the clerk to put an advertisement for the part-time seasonal employees for DPW.
I'll make a motion.
Anybody want a second?
Second it.
Any questions or comments, discussion? Roll call? Yes.
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 Thomas Stewart Park plumbing repair. What's up with that?
All right, so at the last meeting that we had, we authorized Joe to work with a plumber not to exceed $1,000 for some repairs in the bathrooms.
Mm-hmm.
So they fixed, there was 2 pipes that were cracked, they replaced, they fixed those, and they discovered that inside the wall there was more damage to the pipes. So they had to open up the wall and fix those. And then today, actually, Joe just told me that there's one of the toilets is cracked. So we need to replace that. And then, yeah, I don't know how that cracked. But apparently, the setup has too many 90-degree turns in it, and the water didn't flush out, and it froze. And it caused a lot of damage over the winter time. So we're going to have to address that before the next winter in a different way than we did this year. Well, I think Joe did, or, his crew did, but because of the way the setup is, I think it was just too difficult to put the right pressure on to pull out the water, and I think just somebody else. So, we may not have a problem next year because those HVAC systems that are in there, I believe, have heating with them. So we just leave those on a, temperature that's not crazy, just to keep the insides warm enough above freezing. I think that might be one way around it, but we'll figure that out. But anyway, we need to authorize, because we got to get it fixed this week so they can open the concession stand. So I know the one I emailed was, there was an extra $465, but then I think beyond that, there's going to be, that didn't include the toilet, so I don't know if, I have no estimate right now, but if we do another, not to exceed 1,000, because that'll cover hopefully the remainder. And again, it's out of open space.
You making that motion?
To make a motion to allow Joe to complete the additional repairs not to exceed 1,000
I'll second.
for the concession stand.
Any questions, comments, discussion on it?
The only comment I have is, again, I know that Joe did blow it out, but I believe he's at least CC'd you on the subject matter, that he was supposed to meet with the plumber, and they were supposed to go over the proper methods of blowing it out, and the contractor never showed to do that. And so again, we're bearing the burden of somebody else's mistake, as far as I'm concerned, but that's my comment.
Yeah, I wish that someone had come to do it, because it was, everything was working correctly.
No, absolutely.
So there's really nothing we can do.
Nope.
Yeah, so, but I agree with you. Thank you.
Okay, roll call. Yes.
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 Okay. On to the budget.
Okay. Handed out new sheets. We'll have some most up-to-date budgets. Again, this is a compilation of numbers that have been provided to me. These, you're below both caps at this point. You have your expenditure cap, you're about 20,000 below. Your levy cap, you're about 140,000 below. So you're good with that. An increase to the tax rate's going to be 6.6 cents based on your budget. Average assessed home is $272,000. We'll see an increase of $180 for the year, $15 per month. That's as it stands.
Okay. John, Would you happen to know, this question is too difficult, this, let me know, but if we didn't do anything except bring what last year's budget is forward, with the increase in things we have no control over, like health care, insurance, stuff like that, what would that increase be in and of itself?
You're inside the cap from what was budgeted last year to what's budgeted this year, increased about $47,000. You know, they also tell you that pension is inside the cap, FICA is inside the cap, and if you factor that in, because that's part of your inside cap calculation, you're looking at about $108,000, close to 2 points.
So 2 cents out of that 6.6,
Is correct.
I know people don't hate to hear us say we have no control over it, but theoretically, we have no control over it. I mean,
Well, and this is why we always recommend that municipalities don't keep it flat, you increase it by something to cover the
Mhm.
expense. But that combined with what you have going on in other areas is why we're here tonight.
to use the phrase I used last time, we got talking about ratables. Are we a victim of our own success in the sense historically we've keep such a low, like, literally, our other expenses, like say the clerk's office, literally to cut that, and I say this all the time too, we're literally down to cutting Post-its and pencils. Like, I don't know what else you could cut.
Yep. I agree with you. I've seen a lot of places. One place that I saw go through that is your neighbor, Lopatcon. For years, they cut or they kept the same until it hit them, and it really bit them, and they got down to about $200,000 worth of surplus left over.
Mhm.
You know, it's great that you keep taxes low. It's great that you even cut once in a while. But the detriment it has, it doesn't help you recover that surplus year after year. And if you use too much and pull back too much, you put yourself in a position where one year you could be looking at much bigger increases than the other. Now, to their credit, you know, now they're back to about 1.8 million, only over a couple of years. You know, I think they've done some things that are really good, that are helping to put them in that position. And I think you could benefit from doing the same. I'm not saying go up 6.6 cents. I think there are some things that we could do in here. But, you know, we want to make sure that not only this year looks good, but you put yourself in position to be in a good spot going into the next year as well. And even after that. You know, one of the things that I really like that you did last year, very aggressive on the pay down of debt. You increased the rates to cover that debt payment, and that's built into this budget coming into it, you know, before the 6.5 cent increase. There are still things, you know, you had a big amount of revenue to reserve to pay debt service last year. You used all of it. Now it's not there anymore. It's a smaller piece of it because it's a one-shot deal. This year, I think it's only $36,000. Last year it was, I don't know, 60. Well, last year it was 60,000. So you can see where you're losing some revenues that offset some of that debt. Now you have to raise the tax in order to pay for the rest of that debt. So I think it's great that you have a plan in place. You put a plan in place, you're sticking to it, and I wouldn't necessarily look there as being part of the problem because you addressed most of that last year. You are using less surplus this year. Last year you used 920,000. This year you're using 770. The reason is we don't like to use more than you regenerated in the prior year, and you regenerated about 780,000 last year. So that's why we're pulling back on that. One thing that I can tell you, that doesn't factor in, is you still have those capital projects from the prior year that have those big balances, and you can cancel some of that money and utilize it in this year's budget. You still want to do that. I think you can do 2 cents easily, safely, and reduce it down to 4.6 cents right now. So I think that's just a matter of where you want to go with it. Because right now it's sitting in a column that's going to be canceled by the end of this year, or it lapses back to surplus at the end of this year. What we can do is go back retroactive at the end of 2018 and cancel it at that point. So you'll receive the benefit of it as of 12/31/18, not 12/31/19. So once once you cancel it, it'll go back into surplus, and we can use that surplus balance.
Is that money that you're referring to right now, Kathleen, weren't we going to try to spend some of that, though, to complete all the pace setters? Or is that not including that?
No, well, what we have in now for road improvements is $307,500.
Right.
So it's $300,000 to do pace
To do
setters.
pace setters?
And I believe Mike had said $7,500 for his costs. We just got notice, though, that we are getting another grant to finish Dumont.
Yeah, I saw that,
I
yeah.
assume that will go to next year. Mike said it can be done this year. So I had John put that in the budget.
Do we know what part of Dumont that is, though? Is that
It's the section from Greenwich Street, to about the Home Depot.
to the Home Depot? Oh, okay.
It's on the right-hand
It's not
side.
towards
Right, no.
Target. Because I was
Right.
saying, that wouldn't make any sense. to
No,
me.
no, it's that section right up there.
The only info I don't have on that are what his costs are to do that. Everything will be minimal.
Okay.
And then there's a new $140,000 put in for capital improvement fund. That included all of those things that Joe wanted,
Is that the mowing, contract?
all that equipment.
Well, we
Including the
have-
backhoe?
Yes.
So this has the backhoe,
Yeah.
What are they going on, color?
the mower,
Yep.
right? The mower was 20 grand, right?
We'll just ask them to clarify.
Yeah, right around there, maybe just a skosh
That's a
over.
big chunk, I'm just curious.
The backhoe was like
I'm sure.
189.
Yeah, 110.
What's the reference to that? So do we have so how are we doing the demolition? We're going to talk about that? But that's not in here, is it?
That is not in here.
It is in here. I did. I stuck it in, buildings and grounds.
What was the question?
The demolition of Washington Street House, the cost to do that.
That's what we were just, building and ground, we were just looking at that name, Bob. Can you explain that's the biggest difference I see on this page? What was included in that? Trying to refresh my memory. Goes from 55 to 100.
It's for the demolition of building on a piece of property that you own.
Yeah, okay.
That's 50,000?
I stuck that.
Yeah.
I think it was like gonna be at least 40, we did that.
Yeah, the bid was around 40.
I spoke with your bond counsel on this. Some of my partners had mixed feelings about if it's a capital item or not, so I figured we'd call bond counsel, get their fingerprints on it, and see what they have to say. Your bond counsel had no problem with us doing it as a capital ordinance. My suggestion to you, if you're looking to get the 6.6 number down, would be to take it out of here.
Right.
You have money in your capital fund balance, it's over $60,000. So if you do an ordinance to get rid of this building, you can fund it completely from that fund balance. That's what it's doing.
Is that part of the two that you said you were going to take away?
No, the two that I said I would do would be to cancel some of those road projects from last year. I can't
So-
do 2 cents of that. So that would effectively bring me down to 3 cents. If you did the 2 cents,
Two in this.
take this out, now you're at 3 cents.
Is that a recommendation? Like,
I think that's both are prudent ways to go. I mean, you're either going to recapture that money and cancel at the end of this year, or you can use it at the end of last year. So I'm fine either way. And then that 50,000, taking that out of there, I'm fine with that because you have a funding source set aside for just that type of stuff.
I just wanna make sure, with the money we're taking out from the roads, we still have the money in there to do pace setter over there, right? Okay.
Well, the
Because I'm
pace
viewing that as one problem that goes away for 20 years, and I just think it's foolish not to take advantage of that
I
right
said
now.
it's 300,000.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, that's in the capital projects fund.
What else goes with that? Paul, you pay the most attention, I think, up there. I don't want to embarrass anyone. You pay the most attention to the road situation. What do we lose in repairs by cutting that money out? Is that like, would it went for like, Bradford or Kennedy Hill or
What are you
Robinson?
talking about?
Well, yeah, there was,
Canceling the work from last year. That was when we were going
yes.
to Alden or somewhere, right?
yeah, Alden, Roberts Place, and I think they had lined up Bradford, which I don't think Bradford's all that horrible. And to be honest, I think the other ones can ride. one more year at this stage of the game. There's nobody that's got potholes and everything. They're certainly alligator, they're showing their age, but they're still together. I don't see where, if we got all the pace setters done in one shot here, letting the other one slip would be
I
fine.
think Alden's is in pretty bad shape. That one, I mean, it can go maybe another year, but I
Yeah,
don't- push it up too-
you're not gonna be able to push them far.
Yeah.
But again, I drive Alden with regularity, and there
I
are
just
no
want to be clear.
potholes.
That is what you were talking about getting rid of?
Last year, we budgeted, in last year's budget, there was $250,000 put aside for road project. We only spent $1,200 or so, okay? So that money carries forward into this year, but the problem is, you can only charge 2018 expenses to it. You can't charge any new projects to that money. It's a 2018 item. So it's going to either sit there and fall off at the end of this year, or we can go back and cancel it so that you can use those funds in your budget again this year. I don't know last year's $250,000. I don't know what roads it was supposed to go towards.
Well, that's why I'm asking him. I thought it was Alden, Robert,
Yeah,
Kennedy, and part of Brad.
Well-
Or was it Brad?
Well, that was chatter for this year because we thought we weren't gonna do pace setters. I'm not really 100% sure which ones were
Where does that leave
identified.
us for next year? Would we have the money without increasing next year from what we use at Pacer this year to do those roads next year? You know, does that make sense, what I'm
Give
saying?
me that one more time.
You just have to
Basically,
put,
we're spending $300,000 this year on Pace Center.
Yep.
So that was, let's say we rolled the budget over with no increase next year, that $300,000 would be in there for next year's road?
250.
$250.
250. We're kind of stealing 50 from someplace
Okay.
to get it done.
Here's
Right.
the problem.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, that's
That's
what,
not a problem, but it could potentially become one. We always increase that deferred school tax, $250 a year, to bring that into the surplus, to bring surplus higher and use that money to pay for those projects. You know, we started here back in 2016, and by 2015 is the first year you did that, where you brought $250 into your budget through the deferred school tax. All right, it was told to us that it was only going to be a 5-year thing. Well, we're in the 5th year of it now. If you're going to continue to do that,
So that 250 is still coming from the deferred?
they'll come.
Oh, yeah, that's not, that's
so next year, you're
but-
talking 4 cents just to do the road?
just to do the roads.
but technically though, we didn't use it this year.
You didn't use it last year. but
In
you
18, I'm
still-
sorry.
But
We-
you still increased the deferred school tax last year to get that into the budget.
To get it into the budget.
Now you're going to cancel it, and you're still deferring $300,000 more this year as well. Plus, you had the tax appeal that comes straight
That's
from
what's
there
coming.
as well.
The tax appeal is like another year
I
of,
think it was a total of $300,000.
300,000, yeah.
that's the one, that settlement is what, it's like an extra year of, to do the roads.
And that's why I'm saying it's nice to have that availability with that money there, but if we're gonna keep taking $250 year after year after
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
So right now, that's included? Taking money out of that?
Right now, I have gone up $300,000 this year. I'll tell you where you're at, just to let you know. So, your tax levy was $10,750,000. So roughly half of that is five and a quarter. You've deferred a little over $3 million, so you still got about $2 million left. 2.5, maybe 2.2 million or so, 2.3 million. But again, you know, if we're going to keep taking out of there, we're going to take away for the appeals, we're going to take away for the roads on an annual basis. That money was a lot higher when I started, I can tell you that. So that's my only concern, is not...
They don't want to stop the road program, though.
And that's fine, and it's a way that you can continue to do it, but at some
Up
point...
to a point.
You gotta pump the brakes.
You gotta-
Because you need that, you want that cushion, you want that ability, if you have a bad year, to hit that if you need it.
That's why you gotta start building up,
Yeah.
you know, dedicated capital tax, you know, part of the levy to go for the project, so that you can kind of wean
Wean
off it.
This doesn't have to be the year where you wean yourself off it, you know, we can start looking, see where your fund balance comes back next year. I still think you're in a really good position, so I'm not too concerned, but it's just out there, and you need to know about it.
So right now with that and the house, we said we're down to about 3 cent tax increase?
No.
Well, it depends, how much are we taking out of public buildings and grounds?
How much was allotted for the house?
50, right?
Yeah.
So I'd say that's what we're taking out.
Okay? And Kathleen still wants some money in the budget in case she's got to do transfers.
Yes.
So I wouldn't cut it too tight, but
Well, I want to come with a number there.
I'm trying to find your tax points about.
Then I guess what I want to ask is, what's everybody comfortable with? I mean,
Well, he said he could get it to 3. Was it 3 even? What was the,
Well, you started at 6.6. I took 2 cents from the cancellation, and I took the 50,000, which is less than a cent from this, so you're at 3.7 cents, right?
How did it,
2 points from the cancellation, that goes down to 4.6, and then 50,000 is roughly 0.9. Now you're down to 0.37.
so we haven't touched the 140 then, out of the capital?
No. Only 2 things that we did. We took 50,000 out of public buildings and grounds, and added the 2 cents for the cancellation.
So the 50 coming out of buildings and grounds, we can use against the current capital fund balance. And that you said was like 70, because I don't, that balance isn't on here, right? I don't see
No.
it.
That balance at year end was 77,000. 77,000 almost even. So if you do that,
we
you're
talked
down to
about
50,000.
something that could get reduced here?
Well, with that being said, I know Bob and I are discussing court issues over in Pohat, and I see that costing us money this year, not generating small amounts of revenue. I mean, as it stands right now, I think, Bob, they're looking for, all told, about 115,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
And last year it was around 74,000, 50,000 in ticket revenue, and 23,000 in change. Is that about right, Kathleen? Right. This year, they're looking for right around 40,000 for the upfront shared service number, and 75% of the revenue that the tickets are doing, which is something else that we need to discuss here. So that's going to bring it up to 75,000 plus 40 is $1.15, when we were really only giving them 75. So that's 25, that's $35,000 that needs to, I mean,
so. I didn't even see that.
we haven't even given them the final number yet. We think they may come down on it, but it's really, to be honest, it's nickels and dimes.
Do you know how much
He must have said.
collected on your behalf last year?
We
Yes.
could just do it.
Well, I don't know that number right off the top, but Kathleen, but somewhere around $100,000 is what they collected. And they tip 50%,
And there's an upfront piece.
$23,000 and
Can't
change.
just stick a pin on it. Is it okay with
We
that?
don't account
We'll
for
bring it up.
We'll bring it
that
up.
upfront piece in the budget. It all just runs through
Well,
their revenue.
Remember,
and
we
they
need to
get
get...
Well, that's what I'm saying. I doubt revenue is going to offset it this year.
And it's just a little bit, but we're gonna do.
I mean, it might come down to just 15 grand at that point if we're just washing revenue, but that's still somewhere along the line that's got to be accounted for.
So right now, the municipal court line item is just a...
It's blank, right? It's no longer going to create a little surplus. It's going to have a small deficit, which every community you talk to says the court costs you money. It's not something that makes you any money one way or
Is
another.
that under this? Is
Make
it-
sure we put,
That's a lot of money that's
Well, we're negotiating, but I don't see it coming down significant, and part of the reason. Can we talk about this? This wasn't on the, was this on the agenda for tonight in the regular meeting? We're just discussing it.
Where does that
Um,
go in?
I would just be careful about it.
I don't know if you have it in his.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're gonna go back with a counter proposal, that was their
Where would
proposal.
it go anyway?
But according to their statistics, their numbers,
That number is...
we are
included in here.
65% of their
Oh,
court,
okay, yeah.
and weren't paying anywhere near that for their operation. They're paying $202,000 a year for the court, and we were somewhere around 75,000. Now they're looking for around 102, 110. So they're looking to split it 50-50, but they're still telling us that we're...
Did they give you any of this information? Are you privy to any of this? Something you're 65%?
But, you know, we're gonna discuss that Thursday in executive.
Well, yeah, I didn't, yeah, so, right, but, well, yes, they did. You know, do I think that, they went back far enough to do that, but again, their police department is also back up to full speed, so I think that those numbers are gonna change. But that's their number right now.
Okay.
Question.
Yes.
We looked at the DPW, what was it? Assault. That was increased by, well, 9,000.
About, yeah, $10,000. Did Joe say no, he didn't know if he gave the whole 10,000 on that? Paul, do you remember?
I don't remember.
I mean, I was thinking maybe we could get 10 there,
And streets and roads 08.
Yeah, I'm trying to...
I
I talked
guess.
to Joe about it, he said that you could.
Oh.
Yeah, I
okay,
thought he
great.
said that we could, right.
Yeah, so why don't we knock that down 10?
Yeah, but maybe that's it for the whole thing, not just for asphalt. Maybe I did, okay. All right, notice I don't remember what they are.
Me too. I remember that one.
I do in a moment.
That's why I
Road
was going to go
repair.
back. I'm like, I remember
No.
Joe saying we could do...
Road repair and maintenance, is that what that's under? Or do I need to look at his sheet and side?
204, whatever person.
So that basically turns that 50 into a penny now, right?
Yes.
3.6.
And we've been chatting about,
I just not-
Brad and I have been, we haven't really been chatting with Joe on the subject matter, but amongst ourselves, and we've had conversations about not bringing the backhoe in this year.
Okay,
I assume
Um,
it's whatever.
You
but
know,
that's out of the cap anyway, right?
oh, is it? The
The
backhoe.
capital, it's out of the cap.
I'm sorry,
It's in the 140 number of capital improvement fund, so outside cap, yeah.
Outside cap.
Yeah.
So that
Well, it's
doesn't,
still part of the increase.
Right.
All So what would that save us on the taxes?
well, it was 110,000 for the purchase of that.
But we're not putting all that 110 into this.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's in there.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. So, I mean, Joe's general feeling is this backhoe is eventually going to break down to the point where we don't want to fix it. However, he did say that other municipalities could potentially loan us one if need be, and we've also looked into the rental option,
All right, that's great.
which is way down. You're going to have to plan for it, though. You know, if you need to rent one, you're not renting. You know, and there are very few projects right now where he's got a trench and things like that. You know, he can pool grains. It's going to happen where he's going to need it, but, you know, maybe the overall out there goes another year and doesn't cost big money.
That would be like close to 4.5 off then altogether, right there, right? That's 120, you said?
110.
Is there a
110.
way to structure the financing of that so that half of that purchase could be done against the capital fund in 19 and the other half in 20? How do you do that?
Well, you have to bid 19, half to bid 20, but you don't purchase it until 20.
Think we should do that?
Okay.
How about that?
I could get on board with that.
So instead of cutting 110, we'll cut it 60 and then keep 50 in and then,
Because we got to plan for it, because whether you do it this year or next, we're going to
no, we're gonna have to get it, yeah.
do it. So we want to spread it out.
Well, you don't, he said there's a rental program we could get in.
Well, no, I mean, we could, you
That's for
know,
like emergency.
yeah, if you would have to plan for it. Even one of Joe's biggest concerns was what happens if the new loader goes down. But the answer to that was, well, what happened when the old backhoe went down? You know, you only had one piece at any given time anyway. A backhoe is not something that they're using on a real regular basis, so maybe you do think about renting it at the same rate to have it here, and, you know, it's a one-time purchase that you're gonna have for 20,
The
25
only
years.
is, with that, with everything is, we're pretty much committing to 55,000 there next year already.
Well,
Right.
sure,
Right.
I mean, I think we need it, I just always remember that, like,
right.
every time
Just a question
every time
on
you
that.
solve a problem, something seems to...
Just a question, it's probably a stupid question, but will you bond for something like that? And then the bond would be how much each, I mean, it's a lot cheaper yearly.
5% is your down payment, so.
Well, we talked, but Kathleen, well, again, gave me the impression that we don't really want to bond for
I
anything right
really
now.
don't want to bond for something like that.
Right, Kathleen doesn't want,
What's the negative on that? Because budget-wise, it's how much a year if you bonded it out? I mean, not much.
Pay it off over 10 years.
What's your opinion on it, too? I'm not
If
taking both of your
then- What
opinions.
happens in 2 years, he said he's gonna need a truck, now you're back.
Exactly,
Like,
yeah,
if you remember, I went through all this over the police cars when I drove you nuts. I think that's too small of a purchase to bond for. That's just my, I just don't like, I mean, I know legally.
John,
I know
what's your
legally you
opinion
can do
on it?
it,
You
but-
have an opinion on it?
Well, you have a lot out there now, right? You have a lot of bonds out there, bond anticipation notes of 2.6 million.
Does that include the open space piece?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
All right, so yeah, so keep that in mind. But you have a plan on how you're paying it back. I look at that 2.6 million, some people might say, well, your debt's out of control. No, you have a plan to pay it back. So to me, that's manageable debt. All right, it's all built into the budget. In 10 years, it'll all be paid off. If you added to it, I wouldn't necessarily have an issue with it because you're on that payback plan, you know, and then you just spread out the truck over 10 years, and where you at, $10,000 a year, you know, you're going to have to add it to your budget, but $10,000
That's not-
next year is a lot better than
$10,000 is not much, but
this year.
just a thought.
no, well, it's not a bad,
You know, I hear what you're saying, I just am not keen on that.
But I think but I agree with you also that it's kind of a smaller purchase, and you have to decide if you want to be more of a pay-as-you-go kind of place, or if you want to be, you know, I can incur a little bit of debt. Because some people are adamant, we're not doing it by debt. We don't have the money, we're not paying for it. So, however you want to structure it, it's fine with me. It's either plus and minus.
You're down to
either
what,
way.
3.1 cents right now?
If you take the 55 out and put 55 in to purchase, what are we at?
If I take 55
Yeah,
out,
four something.
It's at
right?
149.
Yeah,
I don't
to
see
me,
it.
I would
It'd
say
be
that's
95 then.
comfortable, and then you're not incurring more debt and having to pay interest.
you're at 2.6 cents, taking the 55 out. You put 55 in this year, keep that 55 in for next year, you'll have enough to buy it outright in 2020.
So
But
what's
it's like
your,
you're saying, though, you're starting off with the 55.
Oh, yeah, you know, yeah.
That's the only thing.
what's your,
But if you bond, you're starting off with
so
10.
the 140 goes to
Yeah,
95?
You know what I mean? And then you're gonna pay property
You'll go
taxes
down
to do all
to,
that work.
That's
85,
true.
All that crap, you
85.
know?
So where are we at, 2?
2.6.
And the debt service that you have in here on the bond principal, the 80,000, that's the 15 debt, is that the 2015, 800 grand? Is
I
that,
think there were more
Bond
things down
principal,
that we're not
serial
remembering.
bond payable.
oh, that's the existing, that was that, yeah. And then the
But that's the 10, right? You
note
got the 10
principal,
also,
the
right?
347,
Yeah.
that's the total payment
I think so.
including the open space portion?
That's including the open space.
And
Yeah,
that has,
yeah, I
and that
hear
is
it.
going to
I
pay
hear it.
down
Yeah,
on
yeah, we're back.
about a 10-year rate, right? We said, okay. It's not just
Yeah,
interest.
we're bringing 119,200 from open space this year to pay principal and interest on that bond anticipation note. Because from what I remember, Thomas Stewart Park has to be paid from open space. So we isolate that piece and bring it over each year.
Right. And that's a 10-year.
You added the 10 that we took off of the salt. Yeah, okay. So 2.6?
In the devil's advocate, I'm gonna ask this from everybody, is everybody okay with the 2.6, or you think it's too much off? Anybody want to argue the other way now?
No, I'm good with this.
So it's $71 for the year and just under $6 a month.
So we went from 6.6, I just want to make sure I'm clear on how we did this. We moved 50 grand from O&E public buildings for the demolition. We're going to take that out of the capital existing, so there's no tax impact from doing that. Okay, so that's a real thing. The 250 that we had from last year's road projects, we're letting that for 18 expire, right?
I'm taking 120 out of that, that's gonna expire at the end of 18,
And then,
and then the remainder of it's gonna expire at the end of 19,
okay,
which will help you surplus next
so the 120, and then we're adding 300. Is that 300 all coming out of the deferred for the,
I've already, it's already factored in that 300, yes.
Do you think I need to add more in to get Dumont Road done for Mike's fees?
Okay. Well, I don't think he's gonna do it for free, so.
Well, I'm not gonna step on toes. If you can hold that project off till next year, you can budget for the grant revenue, because it's a revenue offset by expense, so you can budget for it in this budget, but if you don't do the work on it until next year, then we can budget Mike's piece in it next year.
Okay.
But that's, I think you'll be fine, but I would check with Mike to make sure that you can do it next year. I don't see why you couldn't.
Yeah, well, actually, I thought the grant was, with the idea was for next year,
That's what I thought.
For
too.
2020.
2020, yeah.
So we're ahead of the game, putting it in the budget now, so that when it comes in, you have the ability to spend it.
so, what do you have in for DPW staffing? Because in his original proposal, he had adding a new full-time person.
I took that out.
It's out.
Yes.
Okay. So do we have an additional part-time person?
I left, whatever he provided us, I left everything except for taking out the full-time guy.
I think we talked with him that night about that, right?
Yeah, but I think, though, right now, he's got 3 full-time and, 6 part-time? 5? I don't remember.
I think it's 4.
Because I know he put the full-time in thinking then he would reduce some of the part-time, but if you take the full-time out, they're still doing TSP this year, and now they're going to add on the bi-weekly.
The bi-weeklies.
Which is new work. So he really needs another part-time guy in the summertime, if it doesn't have it in yet. I don't know what you
Is that the one we just authorized for advertising for? We need one in addition, that you're saying?
He's anticipating 16 hours a week from April 1st to...
Oh, so he's got...
Yeah, and he also said...
Or an additional person above what he's currently got? Because TSP, we already had that budgeted, and again, that comes out of open space, so... but-
Part-time seasonal, what else would it be for?
I don't know if if he's hiring for the Thomas Stewart Park job, or if he's hiring for the bi-weekly.
Bi-weekly mowing for
Okay.
the detention areas. And
All right, so that's,
November.
yeah,
Right.
that'll hit the budget. So is that in?
Whatever he gave us, which I could have sworn it was, but we can check if we're not introing.
And then,
something.
do you have the new cost for Diamond Cut in here? The new contractor, so that's, the new rates are in there?
Yeah.
Because I know the last time it was the old ones. I mean, the only thing we haven't really talked about is what we're doing on some of the legal costs that we haven't really, I don't know that we budgeted in.
Well, every year we think we got those stabilized and something else happens. Right now, I think we have them stabilized.
I mean, I don't know if it's part of,
Why, what are you anticipating?
well, we've got stuff going on with January.
Yeah, well, that shouldn't run up anywhere near the bill that it did last year. It's going to have a bill with it, but...
Open, we have Peter. the sewer.
You know what? I wonder if we should talk about that in executive. All that stuff in executive.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, as far as budgeting, yeah, I wouldn't do the numbers, I'm just saying, because those are known open items.
Yeah.
But, and I'm wondering if we should put a contingency here on the court.
That we can talk briefly too in executive. Don't leave, because there's a couple things I want to talk to you about in executive too, John.
Yeah. Austin.
Computer safety. If we have to bring down the court revenue, right now we're at 50,000 in court revenue for the year. You're telling me that you're not going to hit that. We can take up the delinquent tax revenue a little bit to offset it.
I don't know, is it the revenue the issue, or is it more,
Well, it's both. It's both. You know, it's the revenue and the the upfront fees for the court.
So the upfront and then the revenue.
They want 25% more revenue from the 50 that they're currently getting.
Look, you know what, why don't we, if
All right,
we
so
know that,
the-
let's talk about that in executive.
Okay.
Let's stop talking about that out here.
All right. But is it a expense budget item or a revenue budget item?
It all comes, they all netted against the revenue
They
they
do,
collect.
okay. So it wouldn't
So
come out
when
of
you
this.
received this 55,000 in revenue last year, that's net, that's the net number. They took their piece out and they gave you the rest. That's how we look at it through the budget. We were questioned on that a few years ago by the state, but that's what the contract reads. We're gonna hold on to your money until we get the numbers, and then we'll give you whatever's left over.
Kathleen, do you know the names of the part-time employees? Just Jeff, Dan, and Austin right now, right?
And, Ed Ganix, I think he's on the store park.
Actually, no, he's not taking the job. That's what's causing the advertisement for somebody. He's working someplace else.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Oh, so wait, is that advertisement not for the bi-weekly then?
Well,
Is that for TSB? Because that's
I
different.
thought Joe's email said that with that and the other would be 27 hours a week or something.
well, what's happening, we have one, well, again, we're talking, oh, wait for executive.
Yeah.
We're talking in
there's
front
that
there.
little letter that he sent
Yes,
us.
exactly, right. That we'll need to do an executive.
Are we ready to go on executive?
Now, what about all the increases for the non-police?
Right.
Everything's in at 3 right now, okay. So if we put the capital at 85, where does that put us?
2.6 cents. $71 increase a year, $6.
So 85, so that would be, half of that is 55. He has a brine salt liquid thing he wanted, that was 5. The one-
What's
one
the
was
percent
20,
increase? What does that come out to?
And then he needs to see your aerator, which is 9.
1.7%.
And then this thing, which is 3. So it's 60, 89 plus 3 is 92. I think we need to
That's
be
pretty
closer to
good.
92.
What is inflation at, you know?
Yeah.
I'm
Inflation.
not in these up.
Right.
4.7%.
I think we need the capital fund, though, to be closer to 92,000, based on his estimates on what we said we were going to do.
Did you take some out of, the one thing we're taking some out of Thomas Store Park, you said?
Oh, you're right, the 9 grand
Yeah.
for the cedar, you're right. Okay, we're good then.
You have, is Rich's thing, I just want to put his 26,000 thing in there. What was it?
No, that's not in here, though.
I don't see it.
What, the fingerprint scanner?
It's not in capital. Is it in,
It should be.
What were the projects you listed in
I'm-
everything total at 85?
so I'm looking at Joe's. So if we take half the backhoe, that's 55. It needs a salt liquid unit, that's 5,000. Lawnmower, 20,000. And then there's other small equipment purchases of about 3,000. He has the grass cedar aerator, but that one will be used for the park, so that'll come out of open space. That was 9. So those items would add up to about 82.
And the mower, weren't we going to take some out of open space for that? You said it was going to be 80/20.
Yeah, we said that.
I think that might be the difference.
How much do we need for the scanner? 26,000, you said, Chief?
Yeah.
And that's not in the police budget right now?
No, capital item.
Okay, so that's 26. I mean, we're not gonna, we're not gonna make it with the 20.
You also have $68,000 in capital improvement fund right now. So at the end of the year,
But I thought
that's
that's what
one balance of 70, whatever I gave you earlier, 77,000.
Yeah,
You also have capital improvement fund money at 67,000.
wait a second. All right, now I'm confused.
What's up?
Capital fund balance?
Capital fund balance is when an ordinance is done and it's canceled, it gets returned back to its original funding sources. You'll pick up money there, you'll get some premium from the band, go there. But
Yeah, I
the
saw
fund
Richie go out and
balance in
check.
capital can only be used to fully fund an ordinance or to bring it back into the current fund, okay? So you got 77,000 of those dollars sitting out there. You're gonna use 50,000 of them for
Demolition.
The demo.
demolition, all right? Now, also in capital fund is an account called capital improvement fund. This is where you can either you can use this money for down payment money if you go out and issue debt, or you can use that to fully fund an ordinance. So right now, you have $68,000 sitting in there, and whatever we were gonna bring into there from the budget this year, but starting the year, you had 68,000. So if you wanted to take the $26,000 piece of equipment for the police, do an ordinance, take it right out of there and be done.
Okay.
If you think that you're gonna issue more debt in the future, you wanna grow that a little bit. All right, but if you think that most of your debt has already been issued and you're done for a little bit, you should be all right.
I'm certainly going to fix you on
The chief went out to check.
that. Accumulated sick time. Don't you think we should be putting something in that every year?
I leave that up to the man.
I do. I think you should at least fund another 5,000 this year.
I think we should do that. I don't think it makes any sense not to fund
Yeah, I
that.
think it puts away for a rainy day.
You're gonna need it. I think we should add it. Because all it does is just pushes it down to the next, budget year, someone retires, and then you have no money. Should have been in there.
This community being
Agree
budgeted?
with that?
Yes,
Is that a
Any
yes for
Christmas?
that?
You guys are you guys agreeable to putting 5,000 up on that?
Yes,
No, okay, with it.
I think we should do
I'm
that.
okay with it.
Shouldn't have any retirements for a
I mean, we
long
had it-
time, but
We've been putting it in, the idea was,
that's the only problem with it. You just Frank's thing, we can put 5,000 away, and we're a long way before anybody's gonna retire from the police department. And a future committee can come in and read that. They can't?
Nope.
Dedicate just to that?
Just do a trust fund.
Oh, then I'm good with it.
That.
Then I'm good
with
with it. That's even better.
so we have to figure out the 26, so you're saying we can
And
use,
existing money we can use.
we can take that 26 out of the capital improvement fund?
We can take out a fund balance.
Yeah, fund balance.
You have 77,000 in fund balance. It puts you out for the demolition of the building, 26 out for that, and still $1,000 left, which I would bring into an audit or a budget in subsequent year.
But if the demolition comes in greater than the 50, and we don't have any more in that balance, can we use it out of the capital improvement fund? Okay.
Well, as long as your ordinance reads, you can only spend within your ordinance. So if you set an ordinance for 50,000, you're gonna have to amend it with more than that.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking if we should just put the police scanner, fingerprint designated through the capital improvement fund, just avoid the,
That's fine.
avoid having an overage situation.
And if you're gonna do the demolition this year, we did an ordinance for $60,000 in fund balance, came in at 50,000, cancel the ordinance, so we're right back in the fund balance.
Okay. All right, so we want to go into,
Where are we at now?
You are at 2.7 cents, putting the 5,000 back in.
We're bringing the 85 back up enough for the scanner, right?
Yes.
You know,
no, we just said that the scanner's coming out of the
Oh, I thought you said you didn't want to do that.
You didn't want to take it out of fund balance.
I didn't want to take it out of this,
Capital improvement.
I didn't want to take it out of the same place we're doing the demolition, because if the demolition comes too high, I don't want to run it.
Out of the existing CRF.
Okay, yeah, so I guess we're good to go in executive? Okay, I guess we're looking for a motion to go in executive session to discuss contractual matters, and personnel matters. Anybody?
I'll make the motion.
Anybody
I'll
want-
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
You want me to hear?
Good? Good now? Okay, we're looking for a motion to go back to public session.
I make the motion?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're coming out at approximately 8:28 PM. We were in at 7:52. During the executive session, we discussed financing for the firehouse, the court contract, and other legal matters. No action was taken. Okay.
Door
That-
open? Door's open?
Oh, no, is the door back open?
Final?
Thank you
No,
for
it's early,
everything,
yeah.
John. Oh, you're not leaving yet? We're still
Cindergrass
gonna
is pretty
talk
good,
now.
though. Give him a lead, he's tough.
He's just packing up and
Okay.
getting ready to run.
Now we're back to
He's in a cold
the,
weather pitcher.
we're back to the budget before John
It's chilly
goes.
in New York tonight.
Is everybody okay with the numbers we discussed? And I think you were bringing up something. We're at, what, 2.7 cent increase?
7 cents.
I am okay, no higher, but Paul's got some
Well,
ideas.
I just think we're just still not getting rainy day money put away, even if it's for paving or whatever. .3 ticks here. I mean, right now, we just said it was $7 a month or something like that.
So
What's the difference if it's $11 a
What's
month?
two-
I'm
what's
just
two-
not thinking that's a big deal.
What's 2.77 cents equate to versus 3 cents?
$73 for a year, I believe it was.
You just put a computer on.
I gotta turn my computer back on.
I thought he said
I could do it.
71.
71, yeah, it was
Yeah,
71, but then
71.
we added 5,000 back for the
73.
accumulated sick time. So I think we're at $73.
$73 versus,
It was like $6 for a month.
Mine would say 2.6.
versus $81. So for an extra $8, I'd say we go to 3 cents and just make it.
And but put it where? Where you putting the extra money?
Capital.
I agree.
Because we gotta start weaning off of the,
Deferred.
the
How much is
first.
that putting in capital?
Not much.
What's a third of an extra third of a penny?
No, but with dollar wise, how
About
much?
20,000,
20,000.
18,000.
All right.
Make sure I put that in. I mean, if that's,
3 even then? You got 3
even.
cents?
That's
Yeah.
around it.
I agree,
Yeah.
yes.
So 3 cents. So we're gonna do we can do the intro Thursday night at 3 cents. Everybody's good with that?
Yeah, because the difference between the two is, it's literally $8 on a 272.
And I gotta tell you, that's good, because I thought for sure we were still looking
Oh, I
at
did too.
another
And-
4.
And
easy.
again, that's what I asked in the beginning.
Right.
2 point something,
What was it last year for you?
we didn't even have any control.
It was 4, wasn't it, last year?
4-1.
4-1,
I
yeah.
think it was 4-1. But we had a lot of stuff.
The hardest thing to convey to the taxpayers, I think, is, and I never realized it until I sat up here, a penny is only $58,000
Right.
here. That is not much money.
No.
Like, when you're talking a $4 million budget, it's...
Plus, they don't
Depending on what
realize
your
how
house is
much
assessed at.
and how...
Well, that's true.
Right.
If I knew all the
I mean, the people in
58,000...
Greenwich Chase,
Yes.
in Greenwich Hills, it's a lot more.
You're absolutely right, yeah.
Right.
So,
Yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
so,
And personally, with me, it's a lot less.
yeah. I got an older home too. so you
Got an older home, small, right?
I don't know,
And-
that's
And
probably
you,
more.
and you do always try to keep the older people in mind, who,
I won't be here Thursday night. You're in perfect hands with Kathleen. Public is no they can't get up and talk about the budget Thursday.
well, I think I'm gonna yell at us.
I'll be here for the adoption.
And then they should have been here tonight.
So it's
Right.
introduction, and
They
then
should've.
when do they address it? At the next
At the
meeting?
adoption.
At the adoption, at the May meeting?
Yes.
Okay.
So just to get clear, so it's 3 cents,
3 cents.
what percent increase does that come out to? I know you're all packed
Well,
up.
you was at 4 point something, right? 8, did you say?
No, we're at,
It's a little over 5%.
Now, yeah, I know it was at 4.8, now we're up to the 3, it's gonna be over.
It's gonna be over.
23.
And that comes out to how much a year on that, what was the
Right.
It'll be
Doing
roughly
that.
$80.
It's like 5,
80?
it's over 5%, and it's like
Like
80,
6 and a quarter a month or so.
it's like $82.
John, you have to sell
All right.
updates, don't we, in advance? Before you intro Thursday?
Yeah, free intro Thursday.
And you want me to publish?
Somebody's calling me, so I can't get my calendar.
So
I think
Thursday's
it's,
the
you know-
18th, so.
Well,
we
consider
go
we
down.
started at 6.6.
You want me to just
It's better than I thought we were gonna get to. I was
Yeah,
really worried.
We're putting a budget in to
What would
do
the
all
adoption
Pacesetter
be?
roads.
The
and
third?
Yeah, and you're putting away money.
Putting money in for
Future.
half the cost of the backup,
Mhm.
May 3rd.
other equipment we need, capital
Your newspaper
projects.
Yeah.
police
That
stuff.
always makes me
Pretty
feel
good.
like the exact
You know, it's not
date
bad.
includes it, so that's
I mean,
why
we're
I'm
putting the money
asking
into
now.
things that,
If you want to pick a date, if not, I
Picking
mean,
everyone
as long as it's in advance.
fairly,
Give her
or-
everything she needs.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is still give you the, so you don't need to worry about it. Just-
No, I know, but I usually set.
Your motion?
in advance.
Okay.
He popped in, Lisa asked me about a class I wanted to go to
You wanted to go to?
on May 18th.
Oh, you're gonna go, it's for, this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She said she had to ask you.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Thank you.
More, you wanted to go to, the better.
They're always on.
I went to them the first year, too. Those things like
I'll make
this.
sure.
I don't know. You need to write it down. That's fine. I didn't know that it
I'm
was
not bringing it up.
What's the newspaper here?
Express Times. It's daily, so
Okay.
That's when we got the email about today, too? That's right.
Did you send him the email about the class I wanted to go to?
No, but I have it in for Thursday.
State's gonna-
Oh, okay, so we're doing Thursday, okay.
All the
good.
documents that go with your budget, they've been very, public meetings, so I really watch what I say. They've been kind of tough on municipalities with a certain document that they're pushing down everybody's throat. It's called the FAST document. And I've done got three state reviews back so far. They've all been 3 pages long. And there's always 2 questions about the budget, and the rest of it is all this FAST document. And this FAST document is riddled with errors from their side, but they're making you fix all the problems. They will not certify your tax levy until FAST is 100% complete. So they'll still let you do the adoption of your budget as long as there's no more issues. But to certify your levy, you've got to be 100% complete. Even if I can't go in and fix it because it's a programming issue that they have.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm $100 in Washington Township, and they broke my chops over $100, and they will not certify the tax levy until we fix it. But we can't fix it.
They're all Democrats, they love taxes, why are they holding us up?
I can't wait until one of the major cities, Newark or Patterson, Passaic, gets into a problem where they can't issue their tax levy, they can't certify their levy because something's wrong with their tax. I can't wait to see what happens at that point. So just letting you know that. You'll have the COLA ordinance, the deferred school tax. I'll get this all to Lisa well in advance. But those two, the COLA and the deferred school tax reso, have to be done before the introduction of the budget at night.
Okay, anybody have anything else? I'm going to make a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Anybody want a second?
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everyone.
Lisa, do you want this copy of the court report back to your...